Aloha, everybody. It's Mark Sawyer-Chu, host of the Christian Surfers Podcast. We just wanted to say a special thanks to Almond Surfboards and Trustless Property Management to thank them for their support and love. Those guys love the Lord. We wouldn't be able to tell the stories of Jesus from all around the world through this ministry without those guys. Almond Surfboards, based in Costa Mesa, California, since 2007. They've been building timeless boards and just helping families and friends just surf the everyday average waves, but making it fun and remembering the joy of surfing. Beautiful boards from mid-lengths and longboards to fishes and shortboards. Go by, check them out. Really fun merch too, and they do a great job building community. Gary Ward and Bryce and the team over at Trustless Property Management, based in San Clemente, absolute legends as well, who love the Lord. And if you have a property that you want a family-owned business that you can trust to operate it, or looking for a place or home to purchase, I did my place and bought our home through them. Those are great guys to work with. So Trustless Property Management and Almond Surfboards, God bless you guys, and thank you for all your support with Christian Surfers.
Hey guys, and aloha. It's Mark Sawyer-Chu.
And Cyle Myers,
Together, we will be hosting the Christian Surfers Podcast
where we talk Jesus.
and talk with surfers that love Jesus.
Tune in to hear some amazing stories.
Welcome to the Christian Service Podcast. We have a very special guest, Mr. Eric Arakawa, who has shaped for multiple world champions, but is also, most importantly, a deep follower of Jesus. Welcome to the show, Eric.
Thank you. Thanks, Kyle, for having me here.
Pleasure. Welcome to Bali as well.
Nice. It's so good being here, just being together with all of you guys. Yeah,
Nice.
always a good thing.
Okay, first question, which is a bit of a curveball, but if you could choose one surfer to shape boards for, somebody that you've never shaped boards for, and somebody that you've always wanted to shape
Besides Cyle Myers.
besides me, besides me, and you can't say like, oh no, I've never designed. Like, who's one surfer that you've always wanted to, and why?
And I never have.
Yeah, you never have had the opportunity to shape a board for that person.
That's a good question. I've never been asked that question.
Really?
Funny. Yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
think I would.
Bit of
You
a
know what?
curveball.
You know what I'll say. I won't think too long. But I'll have to say maybe Kelly Slater, because I've never done one for Kelly,
Oh yeah.
and I know there's been discussions about that. And actually, just the last time I surfed, I said I've been in the water 2 months, but the last time I surfed was a session at Laniakea with Kelly, and we talked about stuff, and maybe have him come over to the factory if he ever needed to get stuff done. But yeah, I don't know. I may threw that one out.
Yeah.
It was a curveball, but that's the first thing that came to mind.
That's really cool. Do you think what do you think about your boards that would be different to what like Kelly's riding?
Well, he was riding something so different. It had a kind of like a rounded square nose, and
Yeah.
he was ripping. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't know where to start. Actually, I mean,
Yeah.
we start with a discussion, but he's riding something so different right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that he's ripping is, it just says that, hey, Kelly's he's been very innovative, and he's not afraid to break away from the pack. And
Yeah.
and again, he really has nothing to lose right now, and he's surfing with so much freedom.
Mm.
And so he's just doing his own thing right now.
Oh, that's right. So did he like initiate a conversation and go like, "Hey, man"?
No, I mean,
come around?
we just talked in the water, and anyway, just one thing led to another, and he likes to experiment, and I just, hey, when you're out here, hey, the factory's open. If you want to do something, you have some kind of a inspirational moment, and you want to do something, hey, we got the machine, and we got the shaping room, and yeah, we can accommodate you. So,
Oh, that's really
anyway.
cool. That's really cool. Could you tell me a little bit about where you're from, where you grew up, and when you started surfing?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Hawaii, and started surfing in Hawaii at about 10 years old.
Okay.
My uncle used to take us to the beach in the summers, and we would just spend all day playing in the water in the ocean. And the first thing we paddled out on were these air mattresses. They're these plastic ones you buy from the drugstore, and they'd only last a day or two, because they get a hole in them. But anyway, we'd venture out in these things and didn't know what we were doing, and we just basically frolic in the waves and be afraid to touch the reef and all that. And we would just try and catch waves with those things, and then that thing led to just us getting these little styrofoam, tiny little boards we just buy from like the local drugstore.
Yeah.
I mean, and they were completely molded. I mean, those things would last a day or two till they just break.
Yeah.
And it's just made out of the cooler foam. And and then we go out and catch waves and stand up on those things. I mean, the thing must have been about 5 foot long, and I remember we thought we were real surfers when we had those.
Yeah.
And I was about 10 years old, and anyway, and one thing led to another, and my dad made us some little plywood boards, and then we go out and
your dad
catch
made
waves.
them.
Yeah, and that's what he grew up surfing, but he didn't stand up on them. But he showed us how to navigate through waves, how to go under waves, and how to catch waves. So he basically gave us just our first intro in the water and getting ourselves to be comfortable in waves.
And like back then I know maybe this sounds like a silly question, but back then was there a hype around surfing? Was it like the thing that people kind of wanted to do, or was it still like kind of like a?
You know what? It was a fringe sport, fringe activity, I think. And so if you, this was in my head, but if you surfed, then you were a surf bum.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, maybe not really. You know what? If you had long hair,
okay,
and you skipped class, then you're a surf bum. So not all surfers were surf bums, but it depends on what crowd you went around in. But no, I mean, my dad got us out in the ocean, and but so no, I'll take that back. I mean, I have to qualify that statement. But I'd say it was a cool, fun activity, and it was something that Hawaii identified with, so bringing it to the world. So
there were already like people like flocking to Hawaii.
Oh yeah. Come on, Kyle, I'm not that old.
That's hilarious.
I never met the Duke in person, so
Yeah.
he started surfing way before me.
Okay. And how did you get into shaping boards?
Okay, yeah, good question. So, that's, I guess it's a thing that me and my dad got me into, indirectly. So, we got in the water with these blow-up mattresses when we were kids, and then went to these styrofoam boards, and then that led to my dad helping us find our first surfboard, a used Barry Kanaiapuni, and it was a 7.0, and I remember it was really, really narrow, like 17 wide, 17 and a half, super narrow.
Wow.
In the minigun era. It's very, very unstable. It had kind of a round bottom, and we didn't know what we were doing. A surfboard was a surfboard, so it didn't turn very well. But I remember that was our first real foam and fiberglass surfboard.
Yeah.
And that was, we were legit then, when we had that. And then, but I wanted something else, and I just, we were young, too young, and I had two other brothers. We were all a year apart, so 3 of us, and we had to share the boards, one board
between 3 of you.
Yeah, and then I was the oldest, so like I had seniority. So, but I think I still had to share, and there was never enough time on the board. So,
you guys were properly frothing surfing.
Oh yeah, we wanted more boards, but the thing is, when you're that young, you can't just go out and just buy a board.
Yeah.
And it was impossible. I mean, the board's like $100 back then, and 100, it could have been $1,000. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was out of reach, and so I decided, my dad made us our first surfboard. We were at my grandmother's house, and she owned some apartments and one of her tenants was a surfer,
Yeah.
and we pulled up one day, and there was a broken board in a trash can.
Yeah.
And I remember we were driving away from there, and I told my dad, let's go back and let's get that board. Ask him if we can have it. And he turned around, went back,
Yeah.
and he says, oh, yeah, sure. He was in the trash can. So he grabbed just the back half with where the fin was attached, and he stripped the whole thing and reshaped it and made us this is a tiny board. It was like this, that. We could only lay on it.
Yeah.
And he glassed it himself and everything.
Wow.
And we were around, and I remember there was 3 of us boys and my dad. I remember one afternoon, there's like 8 hands on the board,
Yeah.
or maybe 6 hands, and we were just
Yeah.
sanding the board down and everything. But, and then, and we play with that. But that kind of sparked my interest in actually building my own boards.
Okay.
And really the impetus was to save money, just to get a board and get out in the water,
Yeah.
and not have to spend as much money. So I didn't have any.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And we know that obviously you've shaped for some incredible surfers. Who was the most challenging person to shape for, and like who grew your shape?
Mike Ho. Yeah.
Mike Ho.
No. There's no other one. No question. Yeah, Mike Ho. And I started building boards for Mike Ho in 1982. And
How old were you at that stage?
I was 22.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was he going for world titles already? Or?
He was on the tour already, and he was like a big name. He was, he was in his prime, and he was just getting off of one board sponsorship and was free. And then we just connected.
Wow.
I mean, I thought I knew a lot at the time,
Mm.
and then when I started shaping boards for Mike, I realized that I didn't know as much as I thought.
Sure.
And he took me through boot camp, really. And to this day, I've never worked with anyone as exacting and demanding and as knowledgeable, a surfer as knowledgeable as him
Wow.
in boards,
Wow.
in board design.
So even compared to like a guy like Jack Robinson
Oh,
or Andy
even now. Oh,
Sure.
Andy? No. Light years
Wow.
difference from Andy.
Sure.
Um,
So what are the type of things that he would bring up? Like,
he would want things changed just to the just micro change.
wow.
And when it came to rocker, thickness of rails, contours, the rail tucks, the edges, I mean, it was so precise. Didn't want them too far in. I mean, he knew exactly how he wanted, and almost every single board I'd shape for him, he would be in the room,
Wow.
and especially during the finish.
Sure.
And he'd be in there, and I mean, just over my shoulder, just touch this up. I want the edge a little further in here, and somebody's, the edge is too far out here. I mean, just everything, thickness, foam flow, and fins. I remember, and this is a few years into this relationship, I'm getting married the next day. I'm having my bachelor's party.
Yeah.
Mike is at my bachelor's party. At the end of the party, Mike comes up to me, and I just built him 2 boards.
Yeah.
And he always wanted his fins like back, but I always wanted to move them up just a little bit. And I'd always have to tell him what I'm doing. This time I didn't tell him. And I moved it up 1/8 of an inch, 2 boards, I moved them up both 1/8 of an inch, the rear fin. And at my bachelor's party, he comes up to me and says, Eric, you moved my fins up, didn't you? And I just go, yeah. At my bachelor's party. Getting married next day.
Yeah.
And he was right. I didn't tell him. 1/8 of an inch.
Wow.
One fin, the rear fin. And he picked it up. I'm going, he's not going to notice this. It's going to feel better. And he moved it up. He didn't say it felt better or anything. He goes, you moved it up. I mean, yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
And so was he older than you? Or like so?
He's
Yeah.
a couple of years older than me.
Okay. And so what did he do? Did he want the boards reshaped, or he decided to just leave it at that?
I got married the next day, and I was gone on my
Oh,
honeymoon.
yeah.
I was gone for 3 weeks. I don't remember what happened.
That is so
It doesn't
funny.
matter. But no, Mike Ho.
Yeah.
If there was one surfer that has really shaped and honed my skills
Mm.
and has increased the depth of my knowledge in board design, it's Mike Ho.
Wow.
By far, there's no close second.
Mm.
For sure. And so I attribute a lot of what I know to him.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Wow. How has God refined your character through shaping surfboards?
I remember having lunch in Haleiwa one winter. This is years ago with Rusty Priestendorfer, Bill Barnfield, and Al Merrick. There were 4 of us sitting around at this coffee shop and this table, and we were just talking. And then Al said something at the table, and he says, "You're only as good as your last board." And we're all sharing stories of like how we just get like you get beat up, mentally beat up, and
Yeah.
how you feel like up on the top of the mountain, like because you just shaped this great board, and then the very next day you get some feedback from the same rider, like, "Oh, this board doesn't work," and
Oh.
it's just like these highs and lows. And if you really just take it to heart too much and take it all on your shoulders, I mean, it's like you get a mental beatdown.
Yeah.
And so, like you realize that you can't just your life can't be and your self-worth can't be around your career, what you do, because
Yeah.
I mean it just fluctuates. And with shaping, it's like up and down. And so
Mm.
for me, I realized that that in my life that God is a master shaper,
Mm.
And so what I would do every day is you perceive what I would do with because I trained a lot of shapers
Yeah.
in my career, and one thing I would tell every single one of them is that you don't even start until it's finished. So don't start until it's finished in your head. So you have to know exactly what you're going for,
Mm.
what you're designing, what you're shaping.
Ah.
It has to exist in your head
Yeah.
before you even start.
Yeah.
And I see that's how God is with us.
Yeah.
He saves us, he redeems us,
Yeah.
and he's shaping us for a purpose.
Mm.
Yeah. And we're all different, and we're flawed, and God, through this process of sanctification, is making us more and more like Christ.
Mm.
And so sometimes it doesn't feel good, and often God has to do the necessary work, and sometimes painful work to ourselves to get us to look more and more like Christ every single day. And God's done it. And I see how God's hand on my life and other brothers and sisters around me, and how he shapes us.
Mm.
And we're not all the same.
Yeah.
And there is a purpose in God's kingdom and his grand plan to reach others. He's fashioned us just, according to his perfect will. And I see that, and I see just God having his hand on me and shaping me. And I've never ever had a blank in the shaping bay resist me and tell me, "No, Eric, don't do this.
Yeah.
Don't do that."
Yeah.
And to be honest, often I've resisted
Mm.
the hand of God.
Yeah.
And over the years, I realized, that I can really trust him.
Yeah.
I can trust him to do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment where you thought to yourself, like, wow, like I'm done with shaping. This is like too tough.
Yeah. Have you listened to some other interviews
No.
before? Yeah. I mean, there was a time where I was done. I didn't want to. I didn't want to shape boards,
Mm.
and it wasn't because I didn't like building boards or shaping. I think for a while I struggled with identity and self-worth, and how earlier in the interview I talked about having your self-worth attached to your shape and career or any other career, and we can't do that. There was a time where I just see what in my family, you go and you get an education, and you get a career. And, I went to college. I mean, I graduated from high school. Went off, and in our family, you just go. You just continue education. You get your degree. I'm the only one in my family of 4 children that dropped out.
And you were the oldest.
I was the oldest, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna pursue this shaping thing full time, and I'm gonna travel the world and all that. But my siblings, they all got the degrees. My brother's an engineer. My sister's got dual degrees. She was a journalist, and she's a lawyer right now. My brother's got a degree in education. I have cousins that are doctors and lawyers and dentists, and I'm the token surfer, surf bum,
The surf
college
bum.
dropout. Remember how I talked about the whole surf bum thing? Going through the 70s and 80s, it had that stigma. Especially if you had long hair and you were hanging out with the crowd that did go cruising the beach and being irresponsible. But so I think for a long time, even as a Christian, I still had this really, I guess because of decisions prior, I really attached my self-worth to like
what you did,
what I did, in comparison to what my siblings were doing and my broader family. And so there was a little bit of this inferiority complex that I was dealing with. And so,
but I don't want to. But like, I mean, in one hand, you like really celebrated, like in the surf world, you celebrated, and but yet you still had this inferiority.
It doesn't matter. Like you go home to like family and and a lot of these things play in your head. And I realized it doesn't matter. I mean, in the end, I realized what really matters is pleasing God. And then when you please man, it says in the Bible, to please man is a snare. And so
how did you work through this? And
it's man, it's I'm almost it's embarrassing even to share like how long I've struggled with that. And I mean, for a long time, and it's only recently over the last, I'd say, several years, 8 years, that I've actually really got over it, like got the monkey off my back. And so getting back to your original question, like, was there ever a time where I just wanted to just get away from this, walk away from shaping? There was a time about, say, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I just go like, you know what, I'm gonna choose a legit career thing. I'm gonna get away from this, and I get away from the whole surfing business. I'm just gonna just focus on business. I'm just gonna be known in my family as a businessman and all that. And try to be successful that way. And I mean, I remember one conversation at a family get together. I have a big family, extended family, and I remember my uncle, who's a businessman, very successful. And he asked me at this Christmas dinner, family Christmas dinner, he goes, so does it matter how a board's shaped? Does it really matter? And I'm just going like, yeah, it does matter. And I'm thinking,
that is so...
to everyone else outside that doesn't surf, it's all the same thing. It's just a board. I'm just going like, and I don't know if I was offended or I was just like in shock.
Did he mean it in like a derogatory way?
No, not
like
it was just a genuine question. So no, I mean he wasn't. It wasn't a jab at all. It was just he didn't know. And I just and those are like the little things that just caused me to go like, you know what, I need to do something different. And it wasn't just that, but And a lot of these things were I was just building these things in my head.
Yeah. But it's also, I guess, it's like the refining of the character, because it's like, and if we
Yeah.
find our identity in the things that we do,
Yeah.
then it's like we're not really becoming Christ-like in
Yeah.
a way. So,
And fast forward, there's a lot of things that I had to work out.
yeah.
And my identity can't be in anything apart from Christ.
Yeah.
And I've come through this long process. I've come to embrace my identity, and what God has placed in my hands, I just need to cherish and use for His glory.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I heard Pat Boone, right? This he's an actor, right?
Yeah.
And a singer. He's a Christian, but I remember hearing him say in one interview, "Bloom where you've been planted."
Yeah.
I never forgot that. Okay,
Yeah.
well, God planted me in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I grew up surfing. Through various circumstances, I started shaping my own boards, and I have a business. And you know what? God planted me here. I just need to bloom where I've been planted.
Yeah.
And as long as this is where He has me, I'm going to use this to serve Christ and glorify Him.
Amen.
And that's it. And so I've come to embrace this.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love my job. I love the career, but I just love where God's planted me. And hey, look, I'm sitting right here with you.
Yeah.
And I love the relationships and this tapestry of relationship that God has woven throughout the years.
Surfing communities are not all the same around the world. Often, some of the world's best surf breaks are home to the most disadvantaged communities. We believe in the power of the global surfing community to make positive, long-term changes to beach communities around the world. By harnessing the resources of the international surf community, we are able to make a global impact. Using surfing as a platform to connect, Groundswell exists to meet the needs of under-resourced communities and offer tangible hope. Together, Groundswell Aid and our partner projects serve as a way to infuse love and hope within surfing communities.
How did you come to know and follow Jesus?
Okay, so on my dad's side, my family was a Christian, but I grew up not going to church or anything, and I loved. Interestingly enough, when I was younger, I really did well in school.
Yeah.
Academically,
You come across as like a student.
No, well, you know what? There were times I used to get A's, and then when I actually started surfing, I just got obsessed and hung out with the wrong crowd.
Okay.
Surf crowd. The surf bum that sat in the back of the class, long hair, and I just started forsaking my studies.
Yeah.
And I thought, that was part of the identity, the whole image of surfing, like counterculture, anti-establishment, just surf, and bit of a rebel, and it was all foolishness. But anyway, yeah.
So were you also at the back of the class, or did you keep your position?
There was a time when I was in front of the class, and then there was
like
a
sure,
time where I was in the back of the class, yeah, drawing waves from my school book. But anyway, what was the original question? We drifted off to the.
By the time you started shaping boards, you were at the back, and then you came to know Jesus, and you.
Oh,
moved
okay,
your back to the
how do I
front.
know? Okay, right. That the most important question of all.
Yeah.
So I just thought, like, hey, my worldview was everything that came to be came to be by chance. Some millions and billions of years ago, some explosion happened somewhere in the universe, somewhere, boom, and everything came to be.
Yeah.
And it's still expanding and evolving and all that. And and I just, that was my worldview. And one day, I had a friend that whose mom worked at Pearl Harbor,
Okay.
and one of the guys that she worked with was a Christian
Yeah.
who taught Sunday school at this church in my neighborhood. And he sent out an invitation. Hey, just come over and just have your kids come out in church. And I said, no, I'm good. But this guy was, I was 14 or 15.
Okay.
I was a teenager anyway.
Mm.
Just fully in my rebel years.
Yeah.
But he just kept inviting, just through this my friend's mom, and over and over again, and I just kept saying no. I mean, persistent. Finally, I said, okay, I'll go under one condition, and the condition is that if I go, you never ask me to go again. And so they agreed. Okay, so I went.
So you agreed? He agreed to.
Yeah. So I went. And
such a good condition.
Yeah, it was this. I went and I saw some people that I knew.
Yeah.
Growing up. I go, oh, they're a little different. And I went that first time. I remember sitting there at church. I'm going, I'm in church. I've never ever been in like a real church service. I've been there, to attend weddings and all that.
Yeah.
But it was nothing like I expected. Nothing. I thought I was going to have all these self-righteous people judging me.
Yeah.
Especially my long hair. You're a surf bum.
Mm.
And this is none of that. It was just different. And I remember at the end of church, someone asked me, hey, this Friday there's a youth group. You want to come? And I remember I said, yes. And I remember it's almost like I could see the words letter by letter coming out of my mouth. And when I said I wanted to grab them and take them back and stick them where they came from, because I was already off the hook.
Yeah.
But I went, and I went that Friday and the next Friday, and the more I went, the emptier I felt, and I realized that they had something that I didn't have. And what is it? I was very analytical. I'm going like, what is it they have? I had to figure out what it is. And I heard people saying phrases like being saved, accepting Jesus Christ in your heart. I'm going, what is that? How do you do that? Being saved from what? And I remember asking my mom, who wasn't a Christian. I remember going home one evening and saying, hey, Mom, what does it mean to accept Christ?
Yeah.
What does that mean? And she said, I don't know. I guess it means to believe in Christ. And I go, oh, okay, that sounds plausible. Yeah, that's probably right. But still didn't really connect. And then weeks after weeks, I kept going, and the emptier I felt. And one day, I'm alone. I'm the last one there with the youth pastor. And he looks at me and says, hey, Eric, do you ever ask Jesus Christ in your heart?
So you had progressed so much that you were like actually even the last person there.
I was there, and I was just seeking. There was something. I didn't know what I was missing, but I knew I was missing something.
Yeah.
And I knew these people that were my age, they had something genuine. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I just didn't know. And then this youth pastor looks at me and says, we're all alone, just he and I. He says, Eric, have you ever invited Jesus Christ in your heart? And I said, no. And he said, would you like to? And I've heard that term before, And as soon as he asked me, would you like to? It was like the Holy Spirit he just spoke to me and just all of a sudden opened my eyes.
Yeah.
And I said, yes. And he said, would you like to? I knew that's what I needed. And he just led me through this simple gospel message invitation.
Yeah.
And I prayed, and I remember saying amen and opening my eyes and realizing that was it.
Yeah.
Something happened. I couldn't explain it. And it was as if I had been walking through a desert for my whole life, having this thirst and not knowing, I didn't even have something to satisfy that thirst. And it was someone gave me a glass of pure, cold, sparkling, pure water, and I drank it. for the first time in my life, and it just satisfied this thirst. That's the only way I can explain it.
Jeez.
And then I'd never been the same.
Oh, that is an incredible description.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I could try and create my own self-worth or image. It was changing career or something. Just it was God did something on the inside, something that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me, once you started following Christ, what has been the most difficult thing in your life to deal with, and how did God help you walk through that?
There were some things that I thought would be really difficult that I wouldn't really give it, like alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a teenager and I was like getting drunk already.
Yeah.
But that he just took away that thirst right away.
Wow.
But there were other things that it took time. It was years, but I think the biggest thing it was, and it might just sound just simple and cliche, but the biggest thing for me was learning to trust God daily.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's been a struggle. And there's times where like doubt creeps in right now. I mean, creeps in at my stage of life.
Yeah.
But I've come to know that Jesus Christ is faithful.
Yeah.
He is the faithful one.
Yeah.
And it's written in the Bible that he who believes in him will never be disappointed. And I hold fast to that.
Yeah.
I've never been disappointed by him.
Yeah.
And I've come to realize that true wisdom is to trust God at his word.
Yeah.
To listen to what he says.
Yeah.
To believe and to obey.
Yeah.
And as we obey, we continue to trust.
Yeah.
And that trust circles back right to the believing.
Yeah.
And it's this process, and it's been the most difficult thing that I've had to learn.
Yeah.
Through my Christian life, and it's the most essential thing.
Yeah.
That I've come to realize that makes a difference. That brings a breakthrough.
Yeah.
It's only through Christ and really trusting in him.
Are there practices that you have implemented along the way that help you to like put your trust in God?
Yeah, through struggle, and yeah, but that is it. It's through struggle and to fighting, and I need to, for one thing, I have to start my day every day with Christ. Like first thing is I spend time with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you have a quiet time in the morning.
Every morning, and I try not to like start my day with anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I'll sit down quietly. I'm all alone. I get up in the morning. I have my coffee. I sit down in my chair, and I open my Bible, and I just pray. And I ask. The first thing I do is I ask God, speak to me. I want to hear from him. And and constantly, like my early days, I was speaking to God, telling him, this is what I want. This is what I want you to do for me, and all that. And I come to realize that I can trust him. And the first thing I need to do is I need to let him speak. I need to listen.
Sheesh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
I wish, it's like I used to have these beautiful quiet times, and then I had kids, and then it was it's beautiful, and then it was just chaos.
Well, we have to adapt, you know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm not taking away from anything you said, but it was like, wow, it was just like I had this beautiful time in the mornings where I could like engage with the word, and then it was like, whoa, kids like totally turn that upside down.
And then you're up at night, and then they're up early, and so you have to adapt.
Yeah, but that's beautiful.
And God knows.
I wanted to ask you, like, one of the things we've been doing is mapping out kind of like the history of Christian surfers, and I know the first international gathering was in Hawaii, and like, could you like just talk me through that? Like, how were you involved? Like, what made you want to do it in Hawaii? Like, what was the communication with Brett? Like, what was it like to be there that first international gathering?
It was awesome. There was no such thing as Christian Surfers International. Yeah. I barely knew what Christian Surfers was. I mean, I heard there were things happening in Australia, but beyond that, there was nothing. I just knew that there was servers that happened to be Christians there. And then one day I get a letter in the mail when we used to send letters to the mail, you know. And that's from
What
Brett
year
Davis.
was that? No, I'm just joking.
What year was that? I don't know. I know we had electricity back then,
Okay.
and it was airmail.
Okay.
But anyway, I got a letter from Brett Davis,
Yeah.
and never met him, and he just introduced himself and talked about this vision he had, just linking surfers that follow Christ around the world, just bringing them to one place
Mm.
and connecting
Mm.
everyone. And he wanted to know if we'd be interested in this hosting like a gathering.
He asked you specifically if you wanted to.
Well,
you'd be
not.
interested?
I mean, man, it was so long ago. I mean, I don't. He asked if, well, I thought if we could do something in Hawaii.
Okay.
He had this vision, and he pretty much did most of the legwork, but he needed people to host.
Yeah.
And
And
so
did you know him personally, or?
no, never met him.
Wow.
Never met Brett.
Okay. Had you heard of him?
I heard of him,
Okay.
but we never met, and it was early days. And so, what does every young, faithful Christian husband do when someone asks you to
Go to your
help
wife.
host an event? You call your wife and the other ladies in the church. And they put it all, I tell you, they did everything.
Wow.
I mean, everything. I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And we didn't have to do anything. They put the menu together. They made sure everyone had accommodations and food, you know, and I rocked up first day of the conference. I don't know what, and everything was done pretty much. I mean,
Wow.
still, it's you know, it's a little simpler than it really was, but it wasn't as simple as that. But there was a lot of work that went into it, but it was cool. I mean, there was like, I don't know, 25 of us around that just were meeting for the first time. Never spoke a word to each other prior to that, pretty
Wow.
much. And it was an amazing time. So it was the first one.
What was there something special that happened that you just remember that was like, wow, that was really cool?
There was a sense of unity
Mm.
and a sense of purpose, and a sense that, like, you know, we have something in common. And I'm not talking about Christ. That's the obvious thing.
Yeah.
But this thing that we can use to connect
Yeah.
with people, and that was just surfing.
Yeah.
This passion for surfing, and it was this tool that God put in our hands that can connect us, that transcends religious barriers, social economic barriers, language barriers,
Yeah.
cultural barriers,
Sorry.
and look at and it connected us from
Yeah.
all over the world, you know. So it was awesome. So we didn't even have 30 people at that conference, but we have over 200 here.
Yeah, I think
today.
they're like 250, 260.
Yeah, but there was this one. I did this one interview in France. This is a number of years ago for this French magazine.
Yeah.
And this French guy just asked me just the same old boring questions. And then at the end, he asked me this one question. No one ever asked me again. He goes, he says, what's the most important thing you've learned in surfing? And I looked at him going, oh, that's a good question. No one's asked me that question before. And I think he was expecting me something like some esoteric question like, oh, I just learned how to just be one with nature and being in the ocean and flowing with the rhythms. And I just looked at him. I said, the most important thing I learned through surfing is that surfing is not the most important thing. And he just goes, he stopped and he goes, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
I mean, it's a pretty crazy like thing, because when I was in G-Land, one of the things I realized is that people, they live for these moments.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And like there was a time where I feel like and it's a constant battle with me, but like I don't feel like I live for those moments anymore. You know, it's not. It's something that like I feel like God has like in His kindness and goodness, He's given me this opportunity to go to this place.
Yeah.
But I'm not like planning the next one while I'm there.
Right.
And it was fascinating to see that it's like, oh Lord, like like God changes the heart that you no longer desire to. And so when you say you don't live for surfing, or you don't like, it's not the most important.
It's not the most important
That's
thing.
a revolutionary like concept,
tell you, and you know what? It's freeing.
Yeah.
And you come to realize surfing is not the most important thing in this world.
Yeah.
And I heard a quote by a godly man, and he said that when it comes to like living life and taking risks, and he says, don't fear failure, fear succeeding in the things that don't matter.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
And,
Yeah. Sheesh.
Yeah, and I remind myself of those things,
Yeah.
Like,
you want to ask God to help prevent those things from happening,
Yeah.
Because I guess the thing is, if you start succeeding those things, you might trick yourself to think that this is God.
Yeah. And we strive. We can get locked into something, seeing things that so important. We need to succeed in this.
Yeah.
And then you weigh out things. You weigh out the risks and everything and the reward. And you just go like, okay, this is what I'm going to lock into. This is really what I want to succeed in. But it's really good to step back and really evaluate everything.
Yeah.
And really, what's really important, what really matters. And as far as a Christian goes, I mean, how does that impact the kingdom? How does this make a difference for eternity? And I really don't want to get to the end of my life and realize that I've really invested my life in things that don't matter.
Sheesh, yeah. I was thinking about like the gospel writers, like the New Testament writers, and like one of the things, if you read between the lines, I think they're really trying to get you to have an eternal mindset, to think about like, this isn't it. Like there's a life beyond this.
Yeah.
And we need to live for that.
Yeah.
And so like they don't say it directly, but through the writings, you kind of get the picture that they're not living like, you're suffering now, but don't worry, like you're a chosen people, you're a royal priest, and so, and so, sometimes you get so stuck in the,
we can put things in our lives in one of two categories. We look at and evaluate and be really honest with ourselves and with God. There's things can either fall into either an idol, things that falls into the idol column, or a tool. So something's either a tool or an idol.
Yeah.
Serving can either be an idol, something that we worship and we serve, or it can be a tool. Our possessions can either be something that we serve, or it can be as a tool.
Yeah.
For good.
Yeah.
And we have our hands open. We let God to put things in and take it out. And I think we're we can serve Lord better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 more questions.
Yeah.
Why? Obviously, you're a board member of Christian Surfers. Why do you think Christian Surfers matters?
I think it matters because relating back to taking risks and not fearing failure, but fearing success in the things that don't matter. And when it comes to succeeding in the things that make a difference for eternity, like sharing the gospel, bringing the gospel to surfers. I mean, just people. Surfers are people, and that need Christ, and that's it. You're talking about an idol or tool where surfing was an idol for me, and I served it.
Yeah.
I was a slave to surfing. Now I see it as a tool to connect and to deliver the gospel, and I think that matters. And when Jesus, his last commandment, to make disciples of all nations, and that's the mission of Christian surfers. To bring the gospel, to provide an opportunity for every surfer to come, know, and follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, surfing is such an effective tool that breaks through these cultural, religious, language, socioeconomic barriers.
Yeah.
And we deliver the gospel. And so like I'm going like, that's why it matters. That's why I'm still involved. And I love it. It's such a cool thing that God's put in our hands, and something that I actually just place little value and kind of almost despise my involvement in it for a time.
Yeah.
I realized that this is what God gave me
Yeah.
to serve Him and to reach people for Christ,
Yeah.
and that matters.
That's beautiful. If you could give, the final question, if you could give young Christian surfers advice, one piece of advice, what would that be?
Okay, good question. So, young Christian surfers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not a young Christian surfer. I'm an older Christian surfer. I bet you at this conference I'll be one of the older ones. And it's gone by fast. And I was always one of the younger ones. Used to be. And so now, looking through my life in Christ, the exhortation I'd like to give to the young Christian surfers is that Christ is faithful and that He is worthy to be trusted, to be worshiped. He is worthy to hang your whole life on. And I'm telling you, to literally give up your life for.
Yeah.
And that is it. That's the message. That He is absolutely 100% faithful and trustworthy.
Yeah.
That's it. And he is worth giving everything up for. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is connected with that thing I mentioned earlier, is that we as Christian believers and surfers are innately risk takers, right?
Yeah.
You get in the water, you're taking risks.
Yeah.
And so as Christian surfers, don't fear failure. Fear succeeding in the things that don't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Invest in your life in things that matter for eternity,
Yeah.
for God's kingdom.
Yeah.
Right? Jim Elliot said, "A man is no fool who gives up that which he cannot keep to gain that which he cannot lose."
Mm.
And that is what comes when we serve Christ
Yeah.
and we have citizenship in His kingdom.
Yeah. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. Appreciate your
Yeah.
time.
Oh, hey.
That was powerful.
No.
It's like reminded me of what good is it if a man inherits the whole world but forsakes his soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.